Now, I see a lot of videos out there about blues solos and lead guitar playing, and that's all cool. The more licks you have in your back pocket, the better, but unless you got a song to put those licks over, well, they're kind of pointless, aren't they? So, I wanted to make a video about constructing an original song. This isn't a step-by-step guide about how to write a song. There are many different ways to do that. I think the only true way to learn how to do it is just by doing it. This is the story about how I wrote this song, though. And it's about me taking a rough idea and turning it into a working demo. A little backstory first. I released my first solo album last year. It was called T.A. Verns. And it actually did pretty well. I ended up being nominated for Blues Recording of the Year at the YYC Music Awards. It also ended up in the top 10 national chart for blues, country, and folk music. And that's all well and good. But that's in the past. Now I need to write a whole new record. And, well, that's a task on itself. Now, the writing's been going well. Lots of upbeat rockers in there, but I wanted to write something with a little bit more emotional depth and a little bit slower. And that's where this all starts, with the intention. So, what am I going to do? I figured, alright, I'll write something in a minor key. And how about B minor? Seems like a good blues key. After all, there's some pretty famous songs written in that, which is kind of where I took a little bit of my inspiration from. So I started thinking about B.B. King's The Thrill Is Gone. That's a great blues song in B minor. And it goes from the B minor to a G major 7th and an F sharp 7th. So it goes... Okay, cool. That made me think of another song in B minor, Tom Waits' Whistling Past the Graveyard. I actually covered that song on my EP, my Halloween EP that came out. Does the same sort of thing in a different way, those same chords. So I figured, here's a little trick about songwriting. Learn to steal like a pro. I'm going to do exactly what those two guys did, just slightly different. I'm going to kind of double up on the... And that'll give me a little bit more room to do something interesting with the vocals. So far, all I've done is rip off one of the greatest blues songs of all time. Let's do something a little bit different. Now, B minor's relative major is D. See if we can build off that a little bit. Then I came up with this little thing that turned into the chorus. Now, I just played a 1-5-6-4 chord progression. That's been done a million times. So it's a D, A, B minor, G. Then second time round I go D, A, B minor. Stick on that B minor. Now, those chords have been used a million times because they give a great base for a melody. And that's what we're going to put the chorus over when we get there. So this is the point where I start thinking about the lyrics and the melody. Sometimes I'll just make up random words and use that to form a melody and then write lyrics to that. But I was having no ideas. I had no idea what I wanted this song to be about. I wanted it to have an emotional center or something they could really feel deep about, but I was going nowhere. So I decided to take a break and watch some TV. So I started watching The Penguin. It was a show starring Colin Farrell. If you don't know what it's about, it's a more gritty retelling of the Batman villain, the Penguin's origin story. And Colin Farrell plays the titular penguin, Oswald. Now, Oswald himself, he takes on this boy as a driver, young man, and shows him some kindness. But you know deep down inside that Oswald's not a very nice guy. And the kid, well, he knows this as well too, but he also sort of sees Oswald as a mentor figure. This brought back a flood of memories. See, when I was a young musician, I worked at this bar, and I was in the house band at this bar. And the owner, well, he was very helpful. And he also had a side business that he wanted help with. So that's when the lyrics started flowing. This side business wasn't, say, exactly legal. But it was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. But that brought back a flood of emotions and memories, and the lyrics just started flowing. And now I had an emotional attachment to this song.
Now I was scared as hell as I took that back as well and moved on down the street. I could feel.
Now, not all songs need to be based on reality. You could make up a really cool story, but it's that emotional attachment that if you feel it, then the audience feels it as well. And I think that's very important. Now I have a verse, and I can do some cool call and response stuff on the guitar. It is blues based after all.
When I was a young man, I met a wannabe gangster.
And I have a chorus now as well.
Now I was scared as hell as I took that back as well and moved on down the street. I can feel those coppers' eyes, those gangster lies. I thought I'd die from the heat.
So now I want to change things up a little bit after that second chorus and add a bridge. Now, usually what I do around here, I'll try to introduce some new chords or some sort of new melody in there, something we haven't heard before in the song, but, still connected to it as well. At this point, I really wanted to lean into that D major sound because it gives that uplifting feeling. At this point in the song, the protagonist is making a choice, and I wanted the music to sort of represent that as well.
He said, boy, what are you gonna do? Just be a loser your entire life, hanging around the bars playing guitar? Don't you want something more? I said, yes, I do. I think I know how to get it.
Now we're going to jump right back to the chorus to end things off, but with a little bit more energy and slightly different lyrics to end the story.
Now I was proud as hell as I took my guitar well and rambled on down the street. Well, there's no more prying eyes. Oh, this is lies. And no more dying from the heat.
So now the song is finished, and I still don't have a name. So that's why I need your help. I'm going to put a link to the actual lyric video in this, and you can go check it out, maybe give me some song suggestions. And maybe next time we'll go into the whole demo recording of it. Till then, see ya.